Welcome back to Daily English with Lily and Leo, the podcast that helps you learn English through real conversation, real stories, and real life. I'm Lily.
And I'm Leo. And today we are talking about something very close to my heart and also, unfortunately, very far from my bank account.
Money.
Money. Budgets, spending habits, saving up, all of it.
If you're new here, welcome. Every week we pick a topic from everyday life, talk about it the way two real people would, and you get vocabulary, a grammar point, and hopefully a few moments where you think, yes, I know exactly what they mean.
And today's grammar is the second conditional, which fits perfectly with money because half of all money conversations are just if I had.
If I had more money, yes, very relatable.
Before we dive in, please subscribe if you haven't already. It's free, it takes 2 seconds, and it genuinely helps us reach more people who are learning English.
Okay, Leo, where does your money go?
Okay, so last month I did something I'm actually proud of. I made a budget.
You made a budget?
A real one. Spreadsheet, categories, color coding. I spent about 2 hours setting it up.
And then what happened?
I stuck to it for 4 days. Then there was a game on sale and the spreadsheet it didn't survive the week.
4 days, Leo.
4 days is, okay, it's not great, but the spreadsheet was genuinely beautiful. It just didn't match my actual behavior.
That's the problem. Making a budget is easy. Following one is the hard part. What do you actually spend money on?
Games, yes. Food, books. I buy more than I can read, honestly. Coffee, way too much coffee. Football subscription to watch matches, but here's the thing. I know roughly where my money goes. Knowing and controlling are completely different things.
What surprises you most when you actually look at the numbers?
Coffee. I do the calculations sometimes. A coffee here, a coffee there, a coffee on the way to a coffee, and by the end of the month, it's significant. I keep telling myself I'll cut back.
But you never do.
The spirit is willing, the espresso is strong.
Okay, I'm actually pretty careful with money. I wasn't always, but when I quit programming and didn't have a regular salary for a while, I had to get serious very quickly.
What did you change?
I started writing everything down, not a spreadsheet, just a small paper notebook. Every time I spend money, even €1 on something small, I write it down. And the first week I did it, I was genuinely shocked.
What did you find?
Food delivery. I thought I was spending maybe €30 a month on delivery. It was closer to 90.
90 euros a month?
90 euros. I nearly fell off my chair. So I cut back. I set a limit. 20 euros a month, that's it. And I learned to meal prep properly, which we talked about in the food episode, actually.
Callbacks, love it. So how long did it take to feel like things were under control?
A few months. But here's the thing. Once you know your numbers, the anxiety goes away. That surprised me. I thought having a budget would feel restrictive, but it felt freeing because if I check and I can afford something, I buy it without guilt. And if I can't, I just don't. And I don't feel bad about it either.
That's such a good point. The guilt is the worst part. You spend on something you probably could afford, but you're not sure, so you enjoy it less.
Exactly. Uncertainty is more stressful than the actual numbers most of the time.
David said something like this, right? When he was retraining?
Yes. When he was becoming a plumber, no salary for months, paying for the course, still had rent and everything, he sat down and worked out exactly what he could afford each month. And he told me that was actually a relief. Before that, he was just hoping things would work out. Once he had the numbers written down, he knew where he stood.
Hoping things work out. That is basically my current financial strategy.
We can do better than that. Actually, Nina said something similar too. When she left her corporate job to teach yoga, her income dropped quite a lot at first. And she told me once she looked at what she actually needed to spend, not what she was spending automatically, she found she was paying for all these things she barely noticed. Subscriptions she'd forgotten about, expensive lunches near the old office. Once those stopped, the gap was much smaller than she expected.
Lifestyle creep working in reverse.
Exactly. She said she stopped dreading her bank statements, which is a really nice place to get to.
It is. Okay, I have an announcement.
What kind of announcement?
I bought the alarm clock.
Say that again?
The alarm clock. The €8 alarm clock. The one I promised in episode 4. I bought it.
Leo, Episode 4 was over a year ago. You promised again in episode 5.
I know, but it's done. It's on my bedside table right now. Little bell on top, very old-fashioned, absolutely wonderful. And my phone charges in another room at night.
Listeners, you are witnessing history. After over a year, episode 12, the alarm clock has been bought.
€8, 13 months of, let's call it deliberation. But I got there.
What finally made you do it?
Honestly, preparing for today. I was thinking about budgets and small decisions, and I realized the alarm clock is the opposite of an impulse buy. I had a year to think about it. That is the most considered purchase in human history, and still only €8.
13 months of deliberation on an €8 clock.
I found it in a secondhand shop, actually. €4.
You saved €4 and felt great?
Genuinely excellent, very satisfying.
And then you spent the €4 on coffee?
I'm not answering that.
Okay, but genuinely, do you save anything at all, or is it just hoping for the best?
I have a system, a proper one. The someday jar. Big glass jar on my shelf. Whenever I have coins, spare change from my pocket, I put them in. The idea is, someday, when it's full, I'll use it for something meaningful. A trip, a camera, something real.
That's actually a lovely idea. How full is it?
About €3.70. I keep taking coins out when I need coffee.
Leo, that's not a savings jar, that's a coffee fund.
In theory, it's a savings jar. In practice, yes, it is a coffee fund.
Right. From this episode, the Someday Jar is an official podcast project. We're tracking it. Every few episodes, we report on the jar. Listeners, you're witnesses.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Accountability I didn't ask for.
It's the best kind. Okay, impulse buys. What's the most regrettable thing you've ever bought on impulse?
I've made peace with most of mine. Games, usually worth it. Books, I'll get to them eventually. But there was a chair, an expensive desk chair. I convinced myself it was an investment in my posture.
Was it?
It's a very comfortable chair. My posture, I genuinely couldn't say. But the chair is fine.
Is it worth it?
I've decided yes, to protect my feelings. What about you?
The ab wheel.
The ab wheel?
I went through a phase, this was before the burnout, buying a lot of fitness equipment online. Resistance bands, a foam roller, this ab wheel, very enthusiastic. Used the wheel twice. It's in a box somewhere. I cannot look at it.
The fitness industry survives entirely on good intentions.
100% true. Okay, what would you do with an extra €1,000? Unexpected. Just appeared.
500 straight into savings, and I would not touch it, not even for coffee. 100 on that camera I've been looking at for months, and the rest, a proper dinner with friends. Nice restaurant, tablecloths, wine.
Not pizza?
Not for a celebration dinner. Pizza's not celebration money. Pizza's baseline. Pizza is what happens on a normal Tuesday when you exist and you're hungry. It's a daily human right, not an occasion.
That you eat for dinner.
Obviously for dinner. That is the only correct time for pizza.
I have eaten pizza for breakfast multiple times. High protein, good carbs. Very efficient start to the day.
This is never going to end, is it?
Never. Okay, same question for me. If I had 1,000 unexpected euros, what do you think I'd do?
Save most of it, keep a little for something small.
Exactly. Maybe 100 or 2 new running shoes, a book, a nice tea. The rest goes straight into savings. Or maybe a trip somewhere I haven't been yet.
You wouldn't buy a fitness gadget?
I've learned. The ab wheel was a very important lesson.
The ab wheel will follow you forever.
It will. All right, vocabulary.
5 words from today. First, budget. A budget is a plan for how much money you can spend and on what. I made a budget, it had color coding, and it lasted 4 days.
You can also use budget as a verb. I'm trying to budget better this month. Both forms are very common.
Second, worth. To afford something means to have enough money for it. I can't afford to eat out every week, so I pick one night that really matters.
Third, impulse buy. An impulse buy is something you purchase without planning. You weren't looking for it, you just saw it, and it ended up in your bag or your download history.
No further details needed on that one. Fourth, cut back. A phrasal verb. To cut back means to reduce how much you spend or use. I cut back on food delivery and saved nearly 70 euros in 1 month.
You can cut back on almost anything. Coffee, spending, screen time. It's a very flexible phrase.
And fifth, worth it. If something is worth it, the money or effort gave you a good enough result. It was justified. The running shoes were expensive, but they're worth it. I've already done over 200 kilometers in them.
And the alarm clock? Worth it?
Absolutely. Best 4 euros I've spent in years.
Best 4 euros.
Best 4 euros.
Grammar. Second conditional. We've actually used it several times today without stopping to point it out, which is exactly how it should work.
The second conditional is for imaginary situations, things that aren't real right now, but you're thinking about what would happen. The structure, if plus past simple, comma, would plus base verb.
For example, if I had 1,000 euros, I would save most of it. Right now, I don't have a surprise 1,000 euros. It's imaginary, but this is what I'd do.
If I didn't spend so much on coffee, I'd save a lot faster. Same structure. If I didn't spend, past simple, I'd save, would plus verb. In natural speech, we almost always shorten would to d. I'd instead of I would. Both are correct. D just sounds more natural.
And this is different from the first conditional, which is for real, possible situations. If I put 50 euros aside this month, I'll have a start on my emergency fund. That could actually happen.
But if I won the lottery, I'd buy the best gaming setup ever made, season tickets to every football league in Europe, and enough coffee to last a decade. Second conditional. Unlikely, but I think about it.
Let's practice. Listeners, pause here if you want to answer first. Question. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you live?
If I could live anywhere, somewhere warm. I grew up in a village that was gray for 8 months a year. I want sunshine, a terrace, coffee outside every morning.
If I could live anywhere, I'd want water nearby. I grew up with canals and bridges. I think I need to be near water to feel settled. Maybe a city by the sea or a wide river.
So you wouldn't go back to your city?
I'd want somewhere like it, but with more sun.
Fair. One more for listeners. If you could wake up tomorrow perfectly fluent in any language, not English, since you're already working on that, which one would you choose and what would change for you?
Think about it. If I could speak, I would. Put your answer in the comments below. We'd love to read them.
Motivation. Today was money, but the pattern is the same as always.
Small steps, consistently, over time. You don't have to fix your finances this weekend. You don't have to be perfect.
But maybe this week you write down what you spend. Just 3 days. Not to judge yourself, just to look. Awareness first, everything else second.
Or you set one small limit, one category, one thing to cut back on. See what changes.
I want to say something about the alarm clock. 8 euros, 13 months. I kept meaning to do it and I kept not doing it. And then one day I just did it and it took 10 minutes and now it's ticking away on my table and I genuinely love it.
Whatever your alarm clock is, the small thing you know would help but you keep avoiding, maybe this is the week.
1% every day.
1% every day.
That's episode 12. Thank you for listening.
If you enjoyed it, please subscribe. It's free, it's the best thing you can do for us, and you'll never miss a new episode.
Comment question this week. If you had an extra 1,000 euros, what would you do? Use the second conditional. If I had 1,000 euros, I would, and leave your answer below. We read everything.
And if you have a friend learning English, share this one. Money is something everyone has feelings about.
See you next week.
1% every day.
1% every day.